Hey everybody, Eustace the Monk here. I've been interested in this game for a while and finally picked it up to do a review. When I first started reading about it, it seems like there's no small amount of controversy surrounding this game. Apparently there's an abandoned MMO called The Repopulation or something like that that's by the same company. The reason that's causing controversy is that Fragmented supposedly uses the same assets or something like that. There's plenty of allegations that this game is exactly the same game as The Repopulation, just renamed to escape the horrendous reviews that an abandoned game understandably gets. It was seeming like this would actually be a good candidate for the Hall of Shame, but I couldn't find any sort of corroboration for any of the allegations made against it. In addition, the developers relaunched The Repopulation as of February of 2017, and development has resumed. So instead I'm treating it as a standalone gaming experience and going from there. And now with that rather dubious introduction, this is Fragmented. Okay, here's a brand new concept for early access on Steam, alright? Listen to me here. A first-person survival game. Yeah, I know. I really enjoy games like this when they're done well, but I think we've gotten to the point where the novelty of the survival game has very much worn off, and each game needs to offer some really unique content in order to make it actually a good game in this genre. Also, the novelty of being unceremoniously dumped mostly nude into the gaming world without any sort of explanation as to what's going on or how you got there has basically worn off as well. It's done. It's just done. It's an overused idea whose time has come to be exorcised from the gaming world. You know, the power of Christ compels you to stop developing things like this. And guess how we appear into the world of Fragmented. Yep, you're in your undies with no real explanation as to why you're there apart from the cryptic phrase, "Your memories feel fragmented." Yeah, sure, okay, yeah. On the game's website, it explained that the game is taking place prior to the events of the repopulation, where the player is part of an expedition to pave the way for the planet's colonization. Which makes sense and is a good, simple backstory. You can explain all this with a little text crawl and have you spawn in the world with your survival suit and basic equipment near a landing pod or something. Easy. So why are we doing it this way? It makes the game fade into the background of the useless rabble of feature-free survival games on Steam. It's all you're accomplishing with this. And that's the problem with Fragmented. It's yet another survival game with nothing going for it to separate it from the sea of all of the others. You punch rocks and trees. You make flint and stone tools. You build simple wood buildings and campfires to cook food. This game is nothing you haven't seen before. The game world isn't even all that alien looking. It looks like a forest on Earth with the little glowing pods sporadically added here and there, and these creatures that you can cook and eat. If you look down, you can see that you're just a floating pair of arms and legs. The character customization is completely inadequate. There's hardly any options available at this point in development. You can zoom out and enter third-person mode, but it's pretty awful, so you'll zoom back in immediately. I was interested in this game because it seemed like a science fiction game, but you start off in the Stone Age and have to level up and buy skill levels. And there's a marked lack of bows and crossbows. You instantly jump to pistols and shotguns when you level up your range skill, which is a design decision that makes me scratch my head a little bit. Also, the recipes are really strange in this game. For example, the shotguns need animal fat to make. Animal fat, yeah. Most useful recipes need plant fiber, which drops irregularly enough that it'll become a pain in the ass. You'll constantly be knifing these plants to get fiber. To drink water, just go swimming. Yep, you'll gulp down lake water while swimming with no health consequences. I have to confess I didn't play very much beyond getting stone tools. I was bored with constantly getting fiber to make basic items, engaging in feedback-free, dull combat, and generally playing a game that has nothing going for it. I tried the multiplayer with the predictable results. See, this is why multiplayer games in early access are useless. The servers are lifeless, and you'll be just as alone as a single-player game, except people have built a bunch of stuff in the world which lies abandoned. Great. It's not a bad game. In fact, if the market weren't so saturated with this sort of game, I might recommend it. But there's so many games that do the same thing and they do it way better. If you're looking for an action game with more of an emphasis on planet-side fighting and exploration, get Eden Star. If you're looking for more of a building game with multiple planets that's a bit more of a survival game, take a look at Empyrean Galactic Survival. Both games are amazingly fun and worth your time. Fragmented is a dull Me Too title that needs a lot more work before I can recommend it. It's been done before, it's been done better, just skip it.